Welcome! In this video we will go through the fourth and final chapter in the Azure Span campaign called Vakthros. Now before we get into that, let me just reflect back on the previous chapter that we did called Decayed Roots. Now once again I will check out Wowpedia because the entry of the lore book of this first campaign gets removed as soon as you complete it. As you can see over here, there's nothing indicating the previous campaign. This is the next one. Okay, so let's let's check out Wowpedia and the entry that says Decayed Roots. You traveled with Brenna and Narok to Dragonflight Hollow, where you met up with one of Kalagos' mirror images. One of the ley lines he sought to repair was in the thick of Dragonflight Hollow. Kalagos and Brenna decided to help each other by hunting down the source of the decay and getting rid of it. Working with Brenna and Kalagos, you put the spirits of fallen Tuskar to rest and worked to bring down an ancient that the gnolls were withering away with decay. After successfully defeating the ancient, Kalagos was able to repair the ley line. With matters in hand, Kalagos was ready to depart, but Brenna asked both of you to travel with her to her home, Iskara. There, Brenna gave Kalagos more information about the ley lines in the area, and you participated in the funeral for Penoliak, the former chieftain of Iskara. Kalagos, having learned much from the Iskara Tuskar, asked you to meet him at the Azure archives. Once we arrived there, he indicated that he had some sort of plan. So since I bring this up, I'm going to include it in this video.
I've repaired several ley lines, and our friend here helped repair a major one. Has the Oathstone been repowered?
Some power has returned to it, but I fear something still is preventing its true power from emerging.
Perhaps it has enough power to do one small request.
Alright, so now that we have seen the last part of the previous chapter, let's start the chapter called Vakthros. Now just before we get into that, I'm just going to mention that once again you need to be at least level 65 if you want to go through this chapter for the first time. If you have done it before, then you will, if you have completed the campaign before, then you will be able to skip ahead at any point to this chapter or to either or any of the chapters that came before. Alright.
Well met, friend.
Calling the Blue Dragons. I can no longer be afraid of reuniting the Blue Dragons. It is better for us to be family than a fragment of our former selves. Even if I cannot reclaim the Oathstone, I can still use its power to send a message to all of the Blue Dragons. It is time they received word from their aspect. Few Kalagos call back the Blue Dragonflight, and for that we unlock Whirling Search. Unlocks the ability Whirling Search. Spiral forward a great distance, increasing speed.
Together we can achieve anything.
The Blue Dragons must be reunited if we are to defend Azeroth once again. I am ready to see you call back the Blue Dragonflight.
All will be well. I hope that worked. I need my flight.
We will see in due time.
Khadgar, what's happened?
The Primalists are on the move. It seems we did far too well at stymieing their efforts at Vakthros. Razageth has renewed the attack herself.
If Vakthros falls, the whole of the Azure Span will fall with it.
Quickly then, we must stop her before all is lost. Hopefully, we won't have to face her alone.
Vakthros is connected to the major ley lines in Azure Span. If it is destroyed, the archives would cease to exist, along with the rest of the Azure Span.
I don't suppose any more blue dragon showed up to help?
Not yet. It will be up to us to stop this.
Okay, so I usually show one of these achievements. So, as I mentioned, it is the fourth and last chapter in the Azure Span campaign. So Vakthros is. If you complete this chapter, we will receive the achievement called Azure Spanner. Alright, so let's get back on track.
It's good to see you again.
We need to move. Now, we not only unlock Whirling Surge, but if you go through this chapter for the first time, you also unlock the Dragonflying mount.
Good luck.
Called Highland Drake. So let's replace the previous mount with the new one and complete the quest. So we need to move.
Fair skies and strong winds.
To Ronin's shield. Razageth and the Primalists are launching an all-out attack on Vakthros. We cannot let her succeed. Khadgar and I will go ahead to handle the situation there from the sky. In the meantime, make your way to Ronin's shield, one of the last Kirintor camps in the area. You may be able to get there faster by riding that Drake of yours from the top of the archives. See that the Kirintor there are alright. Then make your way to Vakthros. We'll be counting on your help from the ground. Meet with Drok Scroll Stabber in the Tower Outlook. Drok, that's a weird name. Never heard of that before.
Fly true.
Child, you cannot show any mercy to Razageth. She has made her choice.
I understand.
No, you do not. You have a kind soul. I know you hesitate at the thought of fighting any more of your own kind. I showed too much mercy once. Twice. Many times. Before long, it was too late.
You speak of Neltharian's betrayal.
Do not make my mistake, young one. There can be no mercy without justice. Remember that.
Thank you, Sindragosa. I will.
I hope you truly do, my dear.
Alright, so I'm not sure if you were able to see that. So Caligos flew off when he shapeshifted into his dragon form, which was a massive dragon. And then there was Khadgar, the little, what's it called? Not an eagle, but well, so the flight form of a druid. So that's quite a comparison, or quite a difference in shape-shifting forms. Okay, so this area is what they meant by the top of the Azure Archive. So this is the tower that we ascended in one of the previous chapters. So that's only an optional, so you can just take another way to Ronin's shield. But just for the purpose of this video, I am going to fly from the Azure Archives to Ronin's shield, which also has a flight point. Alright, so we are going to follow the waypoint. There we go. Let's take a deeper dive to gather some speed. Or to build up some speed. And come to think of it, I still haven't spent my glyphs on dragon riding skills. That was not a smart thing to do. Okay, so you can ignore this once again. Let me just think. Let me just spend those on screen. Glyphs. So we just go through them quickly. As far as I can remember, this is what I had right now, or have. Let me just think. I have no. Okay. I think I chose the other one on one of my characters, but I don't have an ability to gather herbs or minerals, so I picked this one. Oh well. So as you can see, not only did our Vigor recharge a lot faster, but we also got a lot more Vigor to spend. So as I mentioned in an earlier video, you once you pick up glyphs, they are unlocked for the entire account. So that's why I have so many glyphs to spend. Alright, so let's pick up the fight point at Ronin's Shield and speak to Druk Scrollstabber. I saw Kalagos and Khadgar go towards the mountains a moment ago. We're holding our own against the Primalists here, but we can always use more help.
For the Horde.
Okay, so there is an optional quest, but as always I'm going to ignore that one. Loktar, adventurer, the Kirin Torah hold. Oh yeah, that's the same text.
Straight.
To the mountains. It's a sight to behold up there. Kalagos and Khadgar fighting the Primalists in the sky. They've summoned several mirror images of themselves to help you through the monstrous hole the Primalists have created. One pair is at the base of the mountains right now. If things start to look bad, well, I'll get the word out to the rest of us in the Azure span. Meet Khadgar and Kalagos' mirror images at the base of Vakthros range.
Be safe. Go forth to victory.
Alright, so that is exactly what the little quest window mentions. Alright, so we go south-southeast. Ignore the bonus
I'll
objective.
reinforce the wards around the tower and keep Razageth busy.
I'll join you once I deal with these proto-dragons and the swath of elemental magic barraging me from the ground.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
There's magic in everything.
This is worse than I could have expected. There's no time to lose.
Come back soon.
Primal offensive. Khadgar and I are doing our best to hold off the Primalists in the sky, but we can't push forward further towards the tower. We need you to weaken their ground forces so we can get closer to Razageth and stop her before it's too late. Make your way through the Primalists ahead. If I can maintain my concentration, there will be another mirror image waiting. Defeat 15 Primalists within Vakthros. What was the word I was going to pronounce wrong? Oh yeah, Primalists.
Keep safe.
You dare to steal from
there we
my
go again.
crucibles? I am coming for you, little worms. You will perish in flames.
Shush. Okay, so once again you can ignore that.
There is much we can learn here.
It's time we put a stop to the Primalists and their insane plans. Lava burst.
Keep your guard up.
The Primalists have torn apart the mountain to send their forces streaming to Vakthros. I spy some lava orbs in the initial corridor that they're using to spread more of their elemental chaos. Destroy them to help slow their advance. I'll do what I can from up here to help Kalagos. Destroy 3 lava orbs.
For Azeroth.
And elemental unfocus. Kalagos let me just rephrase that. Kalagos and I are under heavy fire in the skies above the mountain. The Primalists are unrelenting and their army endless. Soon Kalagos and I may be overrun by their forces. But I have a plan. At the base of the mountain is a disturbed orc named Ruvin Stonegrinder. The Kirintor fought her numerous times. She holds a device that can absorb and redirect elemental energies. Take it from her, then meet me further in. Recover the elemental focus. And a little upgrade as a reward.
Come back in one piece.
Alright. So we take our new mount. fly in through this massive hole in the mountains. Now, as you can see, there's already lava orbs marked on the minimap. Those stretch all the way up to the next... wait, can I see this already? Meet me further in, yeah. So they are going to meet you further in, and these orbs stretch all the way up to the mirror images. Oh, and these have pockets. That's surprising. Both these elementals have pockets. No, okay. And they can descend. Let me just emphasize, can't be sapped.
I am giving you one chance to stop this insanity.
Your flight lies in ruins. What good did clinging to Titan magic do for you? At least your predecessor was an aspect to be feared. You play with powers you do not understand.
I am no stranger to putting down maddened dragons, Radzigeth. You will be nothing more than a footnote in our history.
Alright, so lava orb. That's the first we've destroyed.
Too far away.
Now, since we also have to kill 15 Primalist forces, let's kill the ones on the way to the next lava orb. And I'm not entirely sure what that does. Okay. Right, so up ahead we have another lava orb. And apparently we have one in the cavern right here. Oh, no, that's... Actually, let's go there first. So that's the disturbed orc that they mentioned. So, wow, okay. Let's check that again. Okay. The elements obeyed my call. The blue dragons end today. Should have brought some weapons, Reuven. When my poisons were off again. I was just giving her a fair chance. Radzigeth, avenge me. And there we go, elemental focus. This gem hums with focused elemental energy. It seems to seek more. Alright, so back to the other objectives. Let's stun him.
I need to target something first.
The blues will fail. Alright, so I thought that was one of those well, interactable objects in the world that gave Dragon Isle supplies, but it's actually a herb. Okay, so up here we can find our second lava orb. The age of the blue dragons is over. Oops, too late. And there we go. Just thinking that was actually quite close. But still, let's push on. Alright, so 8 targets to go. And
We don't have a target.
one more lava orb to destroy, which is right here. And it seems like we will have to make our way back down the mountain, as we have run out of targets. Okay, Earth and Hold isn't so bad, actually. What did?
I require a target.
Okay, I'm not sure what healed us right there, but that was convenient. Let's sap him, as these elementalists cannot be sapped. Oh, that's quite a distance, quite a range. Let's kick Inferno Cloak, so they don't get a layer of absorbs. Okay, so this is the last lava orb, which I'm too short. My Volpera seemed a bit short to interact with it, but well. Never actually considered that was a possibility. Alright, so up here we have a lot of targets, but since my health is low, that won't be a good idea. But over here we have more targets. So not to worry, there are plenty of primalists to kill. Die, servant of the blue dragons! Whoops. And another cloak. Alright, 2 more. That's quite a lot of targets. Then again, I'm just going to vanish once I killed enough of them. And I'm just thinking disorient is right here, okay. There we go. Blue dragons have no place in our new world. Just considering using this, if this was a good idea, but it wasn't, or it wouldn't be. But then I missed the interrupt window. Alright, that's all the targets taken care of. Man, I'm really breaking a sweat right here because of the high temperatures. Alright, so we once more ascend the mountain, make our way for the waypoint to the east. So over here we destroyed the last lava orb, and just ahead we can find more mirror images. What's up, Khadgar? Sheer power of the Primalists to carve through a mountain like this. They must be stopped at all costs.
Be vigilant, friend.
That should slow them down a bit. It seems I'm getting a bit rusty compared to the fight with the Burning Legion.
Come back in one piece.
The elemental focus should prove useful if you can recover it.
For Azeroth.
This is it! Hold on to it. You'll need it for what's next.
Be vigilant, friend.
I stand with you.
Good work. Some of their forces are diverting from above.
All will be well.
For just a
Good
second,
luck.
Observe and reflect.
going to pick up this quest first. You will see why in just a second. Kirintor Recovery. When the Primalists attacked our expedition, I fear many of our mages were lost to us. It seems they were taken by the Primalists and are being tortured as we speak. Please, you must rescue the mages left here. They may not be able to help in this fight, but we cannot leave them behind. Rescue 6 dying mages.
Keep your guard up.
I'm glad you've come.
And Primal Power. I'm afraid it's becoming harder to maintain my mirror images. The Primalists are focusing their efforts to tearing me out from the sky. Not to worry, I have a plan. I need you to take the orb you recovered and gather elemental magic from slain Primalists. We'll need the elemental power up. We'll need that elemental power up ahead to divert their forces away from me. Use the elemental focus to drain elemental energy out of slain Primalists and elementals.
Fly true. Their assaults are overwhelming. I cannot maintain the mirror images any longer.
Kalagos!
So as you can see, time is of the essence. Alright, for this one you want to remember that once you kill targets you actually have to use this elemental focus. So use drain energy from defeated Primalists within 6 yards of you. And the text is the same like before. So just to the east of the mirror images we can find our first captured Kirintor mage. Alright, so we use the item, make sure you don't forget about it. That is actually a common mistake that I make. And free a dying mage. They wanted to see us tortured. They said we deserved it for using arcane magic. Alright, so let's search for some more targets. Am I going to... Yeah, I'm going to need to kill more of them, I think. I mean, more than necessary. Make sure you avoid those attacks. Stay out of the swirlies. And keep absorbing elemental magic.
Mortal fools! You fumble with arcane magic and spread its use like a blight upon this world.
This power is meant to be studied and harnessed, not feared. You would kill those who seek to use it for the greater good?
I will eradicate your insignificant kind and end your meddling with the unnatural.
I must get closer.
Go ahead. Oh well. We can both do it anyway. Okay, so I was going to wait until the text had finished, but unfortunately I couldn't. No problem. We got the kills anyway. Alright, so you want to interrupt lava flows? I'm not entirely sure what that did, but I think it's a bit of a bloodlust effect. Or it has a bloodlust effect. Right, absorb them. They kept telling me I deserved this for studying the Titan's corruption. Let's see if we can tag in.
I'm out of range.
Okay, so these objectives are shared as well. They want to destroy the Azure span. The Primalists are insane. At least I do hope. Yeah, okay. I was going to say I do hope he or she can interact with that thing. That trap.
Too far away.
Let's interrupt the spike, because I don't feel like flying today. Oh.
I must get closer.
I said I don't feel like flying today. Serves you right. Okay, so up here we can find another mage that has been captured. Is
I
being
need to
tortured.
target something first.
Let's see if we can. Okay, we can't. Jump onto the stone slabs. They could have just killed us. The Primalists wanted to see us suffer for using arcane magic. Alright, up there I can see another one. And the other player will be joining us. Oh, he's already cleared this one. That's convenient. Yeah, I didn't read that yet. The Primalists kept calling me the slave of the Titans, all for using arcane magic. Let's set this one so we can deal with this lava elemental on our own. They do seem to have quite a lot of health, though they don't really hit that hard. Okay. Let's target, and then we will absorb them at the same time, or at least absorb their elemental magic. There we go. Going to be too late for that one.
I'm out of range.
Oh well. It might actually have worked. Please help Caligos. They're focusing everything they have to bring him down from the sky. Alright, so all that's left to do is fill up the progress bar. As you can see, the what were they called? Setrak? No. Oh well, these units only give 4%, while these elementals give 9. This may hurt. Or not, seeing as he's tanked. Or she. And dealing a lot more damage than me.
I require a target.
Alright, don't forget to absorb. And there we go. Alright, so we now once again follow the waypoint, and it actually leads us further to the east, up this slope. So I think we departed from just around down this slope. There's a slope right behind these, well, mountain-like things.
We will find a way.
We're close to finishing this. Just a little longer before Caligos and I can aid you.
For Azeroth.
You have my thanks. We cannot forsake anyone in this fight.
Keep your guard.
That orb is brimming with power. That will be perfect for what's next.
Be vigilant.
Free air. The Primalists are using these massive orbs here to hold off Kalagos. So these are the... Sorry. I hope you can't hear that. That was a burp. Anyway, these are the orbs Khadgar is referring to. At this rate, Kalagos will be too injured to continue the fight. If he falls, I won't be able to fend off Razageth. The empowered gem you hold should allow you to disguise yourself as an elemental to sneak ahead. Use the gem to destroy the orbs. That should give Kalagos room to unleash his power. I will focus my attention on shielding the tower from Razageth. Destroy 4 lava beacons.
Come back in one piece.
I will focus my efforts on shielding the tower. As long as that stands, we have a chance to stop Razageth.
I'm guessing that means, well, the fact that he is focusing his efforts on shielding the tower, I'm guessing that means he has no more energy to, well, keep his mirror images up. Okay, so elemental disguise. Transform into a fire elemental, allowing you to move through Vakthros summit. That's cool. So we actually had to absorb all that elemental magic so that we could transform into a elemental ourselves. Disguised as a fire elemental. So we get Ember Dash, dash forward through the air. That's 1 lava beacon destroyed. And miraculously they did not attack us for that. And hide. Burrow underground to hide from enemy sight and lightning strikes. Use again to emerge. So you may wonder why you would have to hide, since they are not aggressive, but as you can see, there are other units walking around that can spot you for what you really are. Okay, so let's search ahead. Oops. As I was saying, let's search ahead. All safe. And we find ourselves at the next lava beacon. Okay, I'm not sure, but I think there should be more elementals here, so I'm guessing that player is actually killing them. That, or I'm remembering incorrectly. Okay, that's the 3rd lava beacon destroyed. And while we prevent getting spotted, we make our way to the last lava orb right in front of this cavern.
That did it. I can use my mirror images once more. Meet me within the nearby cavern.
And this cavern is exactly where we are headed.
Over here. I found an area to take cover for a moment.
Okay, let's cancel our disguise. Remove the fire elemental disguise from yourself.
This world is full of wonder.
Thank you. Now it's time to show the Primalists the true might of the aspect of the blue Dragonflight.
Come back soon.
In defense of Vakthros. It's time. The Primalist forces in the air are dwindling now that you've handled things on the ground. Razageth is calling in one of her lieutenants to reinforce the Primalist forces, thanks to your efforts. Or despite our efforts. I need you to handle this monster while I'll push forward to fight Razageth and help Khadgar. Look for my magic during your fight. I will do what I can to aid you. It is time for Razageth to face the fury of the aspect of magic. Defeat Kortrox the Destroyer, one of Razageth's lieutenants bent on the destruction of the blue Dragonflight. And for that we get another upgrade.
Fair skies and strong winds.
And then he disappears. So what was I thinking? Oh yeah, so thanks to your efforts, I said despite, but that's not actually the word I'm looking for, but even though it is good, they still, or our efforts still resulted in reinforcements arriving. So I'm not sure what word there would be to summarize that, or briefly describe that, but well.
Face the might of the aspect of magic!
Ha! I will put an end to you and your pathetic flight.
Wow, that was impressive. Just in one swoop, he destroyed all the elemental forces. Okay, so when you head north, you will find Kortrox the Destroyer. Let's see if a dragon has any pockets. Maybe he would in his human form. Anyway, any buffs? No. Just thinking. Okay, let's go then. The final hour of the blue dragons is nigh. And this target actually has 300k damage, health, I mean. Thankfully, it's... Whoops, let's try and dodge that. So thankfully he does not hit hard. Or she. Not entirely sure.
Seek sanctuary in my runes.
Immune to all damage. Oh dear. Looked him up too fast. Right, so let's run out. Swirly. That was actually close.
Seek sanctuary in my runes.
Razagath cannot be stopped. And there we go. The lieutenant has been taken care of. Alright, so we are now sent toward the northwest, but actually you have to go west to find the path up the slope. When you do so, you arrive at Vakthros, where we can see, if you look up, Razagath casting some sort of, well, spell, I guess. And for some reason, Kalagos is just hanging by. Damn Razagath, that chicken. She looks like a chicken.
Adventurer, you made it not a moment too soon. Razagath is draining the tower of its energy.
And as you can see, that's a massive tower. And Kalagos is up here as well. Huh, okay. I don't think that's supposed to be a thing. Double Kalagos. Anyway, as you can see, he's been injured quite hard because of all the elemental forces he had to take out and endure.
The magic here is older than humanity itself. Astonishing.
Good to see you, adventurer. Time is of the essence.
Don't let the magic dazzle you.
The Storm Eater's fury. Razagath is attempting to rip out. Let me just read that again. Razagath is attempting to rip all the arcane magic out of the tower so she can destroy it. Kalagos is doing what he can to hold her back, and I am using my magic to try to replenish the ley energy. I fear we will not last much longer. As we speak, more primalists make their way up here to overwhelm us. Take my modified arcane disc. Hold off the incoming primalists, and let us hope for a miracle. Ride Khadgar's flying disc and hold off the primalist army. So this is the flying disc they are referring to. Looks, well, pretty cool, but also pretty weird.
Don't worry, we'll keep the span safe.
Arcane disc boarded.
Your cause is hopeless. Soon this land will lie in ruins, just like your Dragonflight. Pathetic mortals, cowering behind the blue dragons and their Titan magic. You will die alongside them.
As you can see, this arcane disc has massive power. So what we used was Arcane Blast, fires a powerful arcane blast into an area, dealing massive damage to any enemies with it. And what starts on cooldown was Kalagos' aid. See if Kalagos has built up enough energy to aid you in the fight against the Primalist army. So that has 45 seconds cooldown. And Arcane Blast has 1 second cooldown. Now, let's wear them down a little bit. As you can see, damage is massive. But, and I can just let go of the keyboard when I use the other ability, because Kalagos is massacring all these elementals in one attack. As you can see on the kill count, it just keeps coming. Alright, it seems like the effect is over. So he's killed like 100 elementals in one attack. So I'm kind of loving this arcane disc as well. So as you can see, they come from the left and right.
There, below.
Okay, and we are being attacked by these things. Azure Dispel. Call out a target for Kalagos to dispel. So we are supposed to dispel these storm funnels, all 3 of them. So we can see one up here as well. One was in front of us, and the third is over there. So you have to do this quite fast because your disability decreases.
The shield won't last much longer.
And in the next wave you have to combine all of these attacks and destroy all of these targets to destroy 200 Primalist army units. Okay, so let's use the button and sit back and enjoy.
I may not be able to destroy this tower, but I will have my prize. Weakling, you need a mortal to defend you. Abominations, both of you, and you will perish here, cold and alone.
He is not alone.
You have failed, Aspect. You will soon learn that killing you would have been a mercy. Now you can watch your empire collapse alongside your false queen.
Can we finally roast that damn chicken? Alright, so it seems like the blue Dragonflight has responded to the summons from Kalagos. Just in time as well, because she was going to, well, let's say that we were the ones who were going to be roasted. We're going to get roasted. Okay, so speak with Kalagos at the base of Vakthros. And just before we do that, I mean, come on, what's not to love about that arcane disc? and Caligos being here, and taking the Q to destroy all those elemental forces in one blow, all 200. Alright,
How can I help?
Razageth has fled, Vakthros is stabilized, and more blue dragons have arrived. I think we can rest for a moment now.
Keep safe.
Speaking of resting, let me just check the length of this video. Okay, the blue dragon Oathstone. The Azure span has stabilized for now, and more blue dragons have arrived. Just in time. It's time to return to the Azure archives and reclaim the Oathstone. I would request your presence there. You've been a great boon throughout this ordeal. Accompany Caligos to claim the blue dragon Oathstone. And another upgrade is gained as a reward.
Together, we can please return to the Azure archives. Sindragosa is awaiting our return, and we should be able to reclaim the Oathstone.
Sindragosa. She has returned from the grave.
I'll explain on the way. Let's go.
And I thought I had seen it all in my old age.
Alright, so you can see them all fly off to the southwest. Let me just think, am I going to fly there? Nah, I'm just gonna go back to Ronin's shield and take the flight path. Now, as you saw in the cutscene, Xanagos is also quite a massive blue dragon, just like Caligos. While the others were, well, relatively small. Even the small one I was targeting at the end of the dialogue. That was a very small one. But it stood defiantly against Razageth in front of Caligos. So while I was checking the length of this video, I noticed that I'm going to be struggling to keep it under 1 hour again. And this is also part of a next patch. So once again, you can ignore that for now. In the meantime, let me think if I forgot to say anything. I always worry about those things. No, I don't think I did. Alright, so we head back to the Oathstone, which is slightly east, or slightly southeast, and we speak with
Greetings, young one.
Sindragosa. Shall we begin? I am ready to see the Oathstone be reclaimed.
Tell me, what have you learned, child of my flight? What is your oath?
We've been scattered for far too long. Isolated. But a Dragonflight is more than an oath we make. We are a family. And it's time I brought my family home.
I do believe you are ready, Caligos.
And there we go, another Oathstone has been re-empowered. So we now have, if I'm not mistaken, we have re-empowered 3 Oathstones. The, well, red, come on, what was their name? Huh. The Ruby Oathstone, the Emerald Oathstone, and now the Azure Oathstone.
I know just what to do with you.
The Oathstone is empowered once more. There is much to do. The Azure span is at least returning to what it once was.
Fair skies and strong winds to you.
And there we go. I'm sorry. Vakthros has been completed, as well as the achievement called Azure Spanner. So that concludes the Azure Span campaign. So let's reflect on what we did in this chapter. Okay, so I was just checking the time again. So yeah, we started the chapter off with a cutscene where Kalecgos sent out a call to the other dragons of the Azure Dragonflight. Straight after doing so, Khadgar appeared and asked for reinforcements. Raszageth herself had joined the assault in the east. Kalecgos asked us to check in with the other Kirintor at Ronin's Shield. We were then to help out against the Primalist at Vakthros to the east. As it turns out, Vakthros is a tower that is on a major ley line. If it were destroyed, all of the Azure span would be destroyed and lost. So yeah, Khadgar and Kalecgos flew off to face Raszageth and her forces. After we checked in with the Kirintor, we met up with the mirror images of both Khadgar and Kalecgos. We were asked to support their aerial assault by attacking the Primalist from the ground, taking out lava orbs, and by reclaiming some kind of elemental focus. Next, we met up with some mirror images and were mirror images, and were told to charge the focus and save the Kirintor that had been abducted by the Primalists. At this point, Kalecgos' mirror image disappeared because all of his focus went to the fight. The Primalists were focusing everything they had on Kalecgos. After completing these objectives, we discovered Kalecgos and Khadgar's plan. The focus allows you to change into a lava elemental, which we could utilize to destroy the conduits that were firing on Kalecgos. This in turn would allow Kalecgos and Khadgar to press their attack on Raszageth. She in turn called her lieutenant to help her out. Kalecgos gave us a portion of his power so that we could take this lieutenant out, in the form of protection from one of the more powerful attacks. After doing so, we learned that Raszageth was trying to destroy Vakthros. Khadgar gave us control over his arcade disc, which was an artifact that had massive powers, and we used it to take down several hundreds of Primalist and Elemental forces. Ultimately, however, Raszageth was able to ground Kalecgos. Just as she was about to kill us all, other members of the Azure Dragonflight came to our help, causing Raszageth to abandon the assault. After reuniting with so many blue dragons, Kalecgos was confident that these bonds with family would allow him to repower the Azure Oathstone. We then flew back to the Azure Archives, where he claimed it was time for the Azure Dragonflight to protect lands once more. This reuniting with family and renewing of their purpose, of their bonds, gave Kalecgos the ability to empower the Azure Oathstone once more. Okay, so now that we have empowered another Oathstone, we can assume that the next campaign, or the next quest, will send us to a next zone to empower another Oathstone. So, in the next video we will start a new campaign in a new zone. Until then, I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you will check out my other videos as well. See ya!